Alright guys, welcome to the Tekken Gaming Show. Today I have a special guest with me, Bart Barfunkel. Josh is still in Florida. We're actually kind of like, everyone's just hoping that he stays there, because everything's been going better without him.
That's a good thing to say.
And he seems happier there. He seems happier in Florida, so. We're going to start off.
Stay happy, Josh.
We're going to start off with releases from the week. This week, the biggest releases were Injustice 2, The Surge, on Xbox One and PC. Switch got a new title, Dissigy 5, which came out yesterday, and Thumper, which also came out, the 18th. We have PC releases, Endless Space 2, Impact Winter, which came out a couple days ago. Reservoir Dogs came out, but it's already gotten a bad score on Metacritic. So, and then we have the Samurai Warrior Spirit of Something on PS4 that came out 2 days ago, Sanda. And Guilty Gear coming out soon, which is literally 2 days from now. So we got a couple, good releases so far.
The big one I've heard about is, of course, Injustice 2.
Yeah, Injustice 2.
Oh, hi. Well, saw, dude. Injustice 2, that's, I don't know how, I get into these YouTube video holes, and I watched something that was related to Injustice, and then I looked at the side, and it just auto-played all of the funny Injustice 2 intros.
Yep.
And I just sat there for an hour and a half with it just playing, and then it went to the next one, which was all the crazy intros.
So, upcoming events, we have Computex coming up soon.
You want to do this?
I guess, not yet. We have Computex coming up soon, as well as E3. So those are the two big events coming up that we're going to be getting game updates from, as well as a lot of tech stuff from Computex.
Oh, yeah.
First thing we're going to talk about today is the Red Dead Redemption 2 being delayed until spring.
Just press your button.
I've never played Red Dead. Did you ever play Red Dead?
I played a little bit. I played more of the Undead Nightmare, but I do know how it ended because, once again, YouTube video holes, I end up watching like spoilers to games I would never play or have never played. But
yeah.
As far as like how it's supposed to come out on PC, is it still the same way you need it on PlayStation 4 or Xbox?
I don't think it's coming out on PC. What they're really talking about is that whole Xbox streaming thing. How you can stream from your Xbox to your computer with Windows 10.
Yeah.
So
and the PS Now?
I think you can PS4 too, right?
Yeah, PS Now I think is what it is.
Yeah. So they're talking more about that. Like, if you have it on PS4 and Xbox, you can play it on your computer. Which, okay, cool. I can stream it, and it takes a lot of the hardware, off of my computer. But at the same time, I'd rather have it on computer because that, Fallout 4 had some good mods, but there were so many more better mods for Fallout 4 on PC than there was on Xbox.
Well, yeah. Just like how they came out with Skyrim remastered, Skyrim HD remastered. Yep. People, and then they complained that PC, you got it for free? I had to pay for this. And then everyone on PC was like, I already own Skyrim, so I had to, I already had mods that I've used for years. So they looked at that and went, you already have mods that make it look even better than this. Have this not as nice looking one for free because you already own Skyrim. Because what they're thinking is, well, if we release this and make people pay for it, there's mods out there that people are just going to start downloading to make it that same game. So they said, you know what, if you haven't bought Skyrim yet, buy the remastered, please.
Yeah, I think that's a good thing.
And the other thing is, as far as like Fallout and PC, compared to console, as far as mods, there's no competition whatsoever.
Yeah, I would agree. The biggest thing about this is delayed till spring 2018. It was supposed to come out this fall. This is like, I have a love-hate with Rockstar because of this. I want them to do, good content, but at the same time, they always push back deadlines. Like, we saw it with the Heist DLC with Grand Theft Auto. We saw it with a lot of things. Like, it seems like they promise us a lot and then can't deliver.
Well, the thing about it, as far as delays go, Grand Theft Auto 5, I do like how they keep re-releasing new content without charging a bajillion dollars for it. If you look at farming, it's Train Simulator.
Yeah.
It's $3,000 for the entire collection. You save money on the Steam. You save $1,000 on the Steam sales for that. But it's still like $2,500 for every single bit of software for one game.
And if you're spending $2,500 on a game, I would assume you have like a custom panel.
you have it. Your computer is in a train. You bought the front half of a train. But the other thing, I mentioned this on the Gamers Unite Facebook page.
Yep.
I replied to somebody. I can't remember who it was. I
don't
apologize.
know who was in that group.
But they posted and said, "I can't believe you delay this," or it was just like, "No, don't delay it. I want it now." And I don't know if it was this game or some other game.
It was exactly this game.
My response to him is just my response with any game is just I'd rather wait for a later release date than expected for a finished game than get an earlier release date or on-time release date for an unfinished buggy game. And with Rockstar, them delaying it, they delayed the PC version of GTA 5 for like a year. So what came out of that, though, like I was playing Modern Warfare 2 when I was talking about the PC version
that is true.
Of GTA 5.
I think Xbox One didn't exist when GTA 5 came out.
I believe, it came out on last gen.
Yeah, it was a 2013. Systems. I bought the game brand new. I actually bought it twice. I bought it for a friend of mine so that they'd play with me. But yeah, it was 2013 when it came out, and like the whole reason I bought it was because of Heist, and we didn't get Heist until PC.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So you had to wait either way, whether it was for PC or for Heist.
And I ended up just buying it on PC, and I was like, all right, cool, I have Heist now.
Yeah. With GTA 5, I was going to get into the fact that they delayed it so long. They just sort of revamped the whole game. It's almost a whole different game, basically, especially with mods.
Oh, yeah.
That's fun with mods. That game is, speaking of mods, that game is fun with mods.
It's a fun game with mods. Our next topic is more on the tech-related side. Microsoft unveils the Surface Pro. No USB-C port.
I thought they already did like 7 times now.
Well, no, like this is the new Surface Pro. Like, The Surface Pros were running the M series processors.
The mobile?
Yep.
Or no, that's like less than mobile.
It's less than mobile. They were like M3, M5,
that's
M7.
ultra thin mobile because they have the regular like i5 U or Q chips.
Exactly.
Which are the mobile ones. Then they have the M3 or the M5, which are the... You want it to work on a USB stick? Get an M core.
The other thing is they actually weren't updated to Skylake. None of them ran Skylake. They were all still using Haswell. So with Kaby Lake coming out, they finally updated the Kaby Lake.
Okay.
So, Kaby Lake has more.
So they're on full actual processors now.
Oh yeah, they had full processors before, but they were like running Haswell i5s.
Oh, okay. So you're saying initially they had the M core process, or they have the M core?
They have the M core, which is like an updated M core.
And then they had the
Haswell
for the high end ones.
For the high end pros.
Okay.
And
now they're going to current gen.
Yep, Kaby Lake, because they're more energy efficient. The thing that I don't understand about this is everyone has the USB-C port. I honestly love the USB-C port, but they didn't put this in. They have one mini type display port, which is technically Thunderbolt 2, a USB Type A, a 3.5 millimeter jack, Apple, take note of that, and one Surface Connect port. So
I have no problems with that, removing a headphone jack.
I don't have a problem. It's just so funny.
I have a Moto Z Force, doesn't have a headphone jack.
Yeah.
I have a Pixel XL, I have Bluetooth headphones, so it's just a dust collector to me. But I can understand.
It's so fun to say.
You got a bajillion headphones that are all wired, and then all of a sudden this new phone comes out, or this new MacBook. Actually, all the MacBooks do still have headphone jacks. The only thing that's missing a headphone jack is the iPhone 7 and 7 Plus. So Apple, you're doing okay, because they want to apparently go portless with that, by the way.
I would actually really like a portless phone.
Yeah.
I think that'd be really cool.
I feel the only way to do portless, because you would need to manage to plug it in.
Well, with wireless charging.
But like plug it in to transfer data, to do other things. The only way you can probably do that is how the original Nexus 7 did it, how the iPad Pros do it, have a smart connector.
Yeah.
Just like metal contacts, you have a thing you can mount it into, and then you can transfer stuff, you run diagnostics, because going portless, you're gonna have some problems with what happens if the wireless charger dies.
That's okay. So like now my mind's going back to the. Remember the Palm Pilots? They all transferred.
Yes.
It was like a 5 or 6 like metal contact on the back.
Oh yeah,
that'd be perfect.
That's how it would have to be. You know, you'd have to have like one little. You would have to sell the phone or the tablet with the dock.
Yeah.
Or a magnetic connector, because that would just be. I mean, it would be ridiculous to have a portless phone. Not today. This year, it's not going to be a portless phone. This year, 2020, we may see the first portless phone by then.
I think it'd be cool.
So a little side tangent there.
But yeah, so Microsoft actually stepping up their game with the new Surface Pro. The pricing for it is, let's say affordable.
Define affordable.
Well,
Because some people are like, I got a MacBook Air. That's affordable as heck.
it's on par with your MacBooks.
Okay,
so it's $800 starting at the lowest spec.
So they're starting like originally when the Pro first came out.
Yeah.
It was $800 as like the highest spec for the Surface in general.
Yeah.
So they're starting their lowest
800.
point is originally the highest point.
I remember I was at Best Buy and I was pricing out the Surface Pros, the highest one, like with an i7, and
It's
it was
like, yeah.
$4,000, and I was
Yeah.
like, okay, what's the difference? Like, okay, I
Why
love
do I
Windows,
want this over a laptop?
but why do I want this over a MacBook?
Or that too.
Because I'm going to spend $4,000 on this when I can have a MacBook. Well, you can draw on this. Well, cool.
I can draw. I have a Sharpie. I can draw on the MacBook all I want.
I was like, well, cool. I don't draw. I'm not a designer. I'm a video editor. So that was like that thing. And then, then at that moment, MSI came out with their
like mechanical keyboard, super gaming computer.
not even that one.
That one was amazing. It was like the size of the old IBM ThinkPads.
I remember first seeing that like an ad, and I told Josh, I'm like, Josh, I'm buying this. I don't care how much it is. And then I looked at the price tag. It's only the price of a small car.
Oh yeah.
I don't need a new car this year. I'll just buy this for $3,500.
Used car. One laptop.
Used car, laptop that'll last me until...
Used car, custom stereo.
Yeah.
Can drive you to Florida to smack Josh. One laptop, please.
But yeah, so as soon as that, I like looked at that and I'm like, wow, this is a lot. Then the GS63 VR Stealth came out, which is their MSI's smallest gaming laptop. And I was like...
I'm assuming it's meant for VR.
It was meant for VR.
Okay. I don't know how I guessed that. It might be part of the title.
What if you put up the title? But...
Good marketing, though.
It was good marketing. It was more powerful than the MacBook Pro, and had more connectivity. It was just all around cooler looking.
Design aspect wise,
and it was cheaper.
Tight.
And it was cheaper. And I was like, what? I can buy a MacBook Pro for $2,000, or I can buy this for $1,200. I'm gonna buy this, and I still haven't bought it yet though.
I realize now I forgot to start recording, so.
Lols. Are we streaming?
We're streaming though.
Okay,
we're streaming.
at
I just
least.
forgot to hit start recording.
So next topic is Injustice 2.
Endless Space 2, Injustice 2.
Endless Space 2, Injustice 2. There's a lot of good things about this. People are saying that like this wasn't supposed to be like the things that I've heard about it is it has a great story, but its multiplayer is just as good. So, and that's rare for a game these days.
So as far as Injustice 2 goes, that's mainly like the not really Mortal Kombat, but like the Street Fighter for DC characters, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm assuming they're going with the storyline aspect of Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, where it's
Tekken,
where it's all it is just fighting other characters, but you're going through like the ranks.
Yeah, and they said that the story is really good. I like fighting games. I'm a big Tekken fan. I have Mortal Kombat. I'm getting Tekken 7 coming out.
I haven't played Street Fighter since Sega Genesis.
That was the thing. Is like everyone's like, "Oh, Street Fighter is the #1 fighting game in the world." I'm like, wait till a Tekken comes out on PC.
I don't know.
And now it's coming. But yeah, so I'm excited because I actually might get this now because there's a story to it. I'm a big story-driven gamer. Mm-hmm. So if there's a good story behind a fighting game, Mortal Kombat tried to do it. Mortal Kombat's a great fighting game, but the story just was like
They went for gore.
they went for gore and like tower climb. So it's like,
Yeah.
all right, you're fighting in a tournament and you have to get to the top floor of the tower. That's your story. And it's entertaining. I definitely will play over and over again. It's great practice, but it's not.
I think they focus mainly on the competitive aspect and then overloaded it with gore, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But with that, they mainly, even with Street Fighter 5, I think it is,
Yeah.
they focused almost strictly on player versus player combat with that.
Which
So,
is what I miss about Tekken games, because Tekken games had the story in the game, they had a background story, like there was a lot, like there was. I guess you could consider it like the lore that League of Legends has. Each character has
yeah.
its own
Oh, yeah.
backstory.
TF2 has great backstory for
yeah.
each character. Overwatch.
So like Tekken was that way,
event.
and I've played Tekken since I think the first Tekken game I had was on PlayStation.
Since oh god.
Yeah, oh god. I played all Tekken games that I've ever played were played at arcades.
Not barcades. You're like, well, I was 12. That's no excuse.
Okay, GameWorks is technically a barcade.
Yeah, it was like adult zone. No child shall enter.
Exactly. But yeah, so
GameWorks. That's
GameWorks
that
was old.
I looked at it later, like photos of it. I'm like, wow, that place was really nasty.
Yeah. But yeah, I remember
gross
playing
place.
Tekken at GameWorks, CJ Barrymore's, and Dave & Buster's.
Yeah, no, that was one of the few games I played. Also, they had at Speaking of GameWorks, they had my first VR experience, I guess you could say, Beachhead.
Yes.
That was the most fun I've had in any arcade. Was just you put on this helmet that had a screen on it. You would move it around and just press the buttons to shoot, and you were this turret at the top of a hill, slaughtering enemies.
I remember that. I used to play it, and it'd make me sick, like, but it was so much fun. And then, like...
Vomit in the helmet. So fun, guys.
VR came out, and I'm like, I'm never going to be able to enjoy that, because I remember as a kid, like...
Well, the difference is somebody made that and was like, that's cool, and they were fine, but somebody who was like, they probably had motion blur in there.
Yeah.
Or lack of motion blur, one of the two, which then triggered some people to start vomiting profusely everywhere. So with what's nice about, like, on the Pixel, you can actually, there's a setting to enable motion blur, enable soft motion blur, or just disable it completely. So you may be able to experience it no problem, is what I'm saying.
I think, like, I've played around with some VR headsets, and if I'm, like, racing games, flight sims, anything where I'm not walking, I'm fine. So
like, you sit down, you go...
Yep, I'm just, like, I have, like, I want to get a VR headset and get, like, an actual, like, racing seat. Because, like, I've...
Just have it, like, throw you around.
Oh, well, not throw me around, but, like, one of the things, like, I've been getting into is, like, competitive racing with Project Cars and Forza. And, like, I've gotten pretty good, and I think, like, the only people that are faster than me right now in Project Cars are the people that actually have racing wheels.
Maybe. Because,
like,
I might be faster because I don't play fair.
Well, no, like...
I will hit you every moment of the day.
Well, no,
You'll
like,
be behind me. I'll slam on my brakes until you hit me.
It's all about lap times. It's not about, like, racing with someone on the same track. Like, it's about how fast you can get around the track.
Okay. I'd beat you if it was one-on-one, though. I'd hit the crap out of you.
You'd have to catch
I'd run you off the road. Like, that would be the first go. Would be, all right, 3, 2, 1, go! You're done! You're not living after this!
Yeah. Wow, there's a video playing on this one. So, the next thing... Okay, I want this.
I think that video's honestly for something that...
I don't think it has anything to do with it.
No, I think it kept... Oh, but that got autoplay. All right, so we're watching a video of a monitor. There we go.
There we go. Okay, so Google Jamboard. I love whiteboards.
Oh, it's like the smart boards from
yes.
like middle school and high school.
I always wanted a smart board, but smart boards were like $8,000. Did you know that?
They're $8,000 and they're pointless.
Yeah.
It's a smart whiteboard
that you
without
need a projector for.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
I mean, you can use it without a projector and it does something with the computer, but it's like, okay, why not just get a screen, a huge tablet?
So I'm really excited for this because, like, this is the type of thing, like,
I just get a whiteboard, honestly.
Yeah, but like think about it. You can connect it to like OneNote. And like just
I don't use OneNote. So.
I use OneNote and Google Keep.
I only use Google Keep, and that has a bunch of crap that I'd rather not put on a whiteboard. It's like license plate numbers and my important information that only I need to know. So I would rather not just be displayed.
You know they have actual apps for that, like keeping your stuff safe.
Yeah. Oh, I don't care. I use Google Keep. Google keeps my stuff safe.
But yeah, like I saw this and I'm like, I really want a Jamboard. It's $5,000. I don't have $5,000 for a car.
$5,000.
But like
it's a giant. It looks like It looks like one of those Navi tab.
Yeah,
tabs.
the little kid tablets.
Looks like a giant version of that.
I know. I was like looking at it like this looks so
what
cool.
What if I drop it?
I don't know.
You're like, if you drop it, why are you carrying it?
Why
TV,
are you carrying
basically.
it? It's supposed to be mounted on your wall.
I don't mount anything to my wall.
I just love this because like I like whiteboards and I like technology. I like things that connect to each other.
Mm-hmm.
And like my perfect idea of what like my professional studio would look like would have this in it. Like just be up there for like idea planning. Like, all right, we need to make a movie. All right, let's start planning out scenes we can do. Just start drawing lines.
Mine would just be an empty whiteboard. No ideas. I'm out. If you have an idea, write it on his whiteboard. He paid money for this. Mine was free.
I stole this from a garbage can.
I stole it from a garbage can. He was holding it hostage.
This one was $5,000.
Mine was $2,000. Free for me.
Computex is coming up, and I think so. Last year, 2016 was the year of RGB in computers. Everything was RGB.
I honestly like simple. Basic, simple. RGB to me is, I was going to say really big deal, but it's really gig deal. Like a really big deal. Real big deal. Not really.
But yeah, so last year was RGB. I feel like this year is turning into the year of water cooling.
Water cooling it always comes and goes as far as like because every year you'll have something new that's different, but every now and then in between those years, you'll be like, oh, look at this. Look at what they did with the water cooling and this new thing. Yeah. It's always something like, oh, they've added RGB into the water cooling.
Exactly.
Which I don't even know if that's possible, but get on it, Bill Nye. But what do we have here?
FSP, which I've never heard of.
Future science people.
I guess. We'll show off a water-cooled power supply at Computex. Water-cooled power supplies.
This is the one thing a bit that I saw that I did see before this.
Yeah.
I looked at it, I went, that's stupid. And just kept scrolling through Facebook. So what is it supposed to cool? The actual power supply?
The voltage. What it's supposed to cool is the voltage regulators and the MOSFETs in the power supply
to increase longevity.
I'm assuming increase the longevity for one. Other things is, so like if you have an 800-watt power supply,
I have a 1,000. So
okay,
yeah,
let's say you have a 1,000-watt power supply. As you start overclocking and pulling power from that power supply, the internals of the power supply
starts squealing.
Start heating up and it gets angry. And
I hate that sound. That's why I don't overclock.
The biggest thing about that though is you become there's a limit on how much power can be generated from the power supply because of heat.
Oh yeah.
Energy is dissipated in heat, and heat can,
it deteriorates the power supply as well. Yeah. That's why every year, by the way, if nobody knows this, every year you lose about 10% of power wattage. Yeah. From your, so if you have 1,000 watt, like I have 1,000 watt, I got it a year ago. It's probably only 900 watt now. I have no idea. I got overkill, so I wouldn't have to worry about it because I don't have anything that needs.
Exactly.
My computer needs like a 500 watt. So
now think if you got this is basically for those people that have like 4 Titans in their system running.
If you have more than 2, you're doing it wrong. If you have 2, actually, if you're gaming on 2 cards. Yeah. How the micro stuttering makes me want to throw up in my mouth, and then throw up everywhere else.
But yeah, this is for those people that like they're pushing their things to the limit. I could see the extreme overclockers using this.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Because if they're trying to get every ounce of power
Yeah.
out of their processor. I mean, they already push it to they pour liquid nitrogen into an open computer to make sure that they can hit that 0.1 gigahertz, actually even less than that, like 0.001 gigahertz more to break a record.
I've tried that with a like 2001 computer.
You try the liquid nitrogen, you just turn one of those air cans upside down.
No,
It's the same thing.
Actual liquid nitrogen, and we broke it. You know, our pot, which I guess that's what they call them. The pot we had wasn't built correctly.
You didn't do it properly.
Yeah, and it like the liquid nitrogen froze and spilled through onto the motherboard and like froze the PCB.
Destroy the whole thing.
Oh yeah, the PCB like was pulling, like it just shattered. Like
Yeah.
you could
Oh yeah.
poke holes in it like it was rust.
Liquid nitrogen. That'll do it.
That
You
was
gotta
some
know what
crazy,
you're doing.
There was some crazy stuff. So yeah, that was something we learned. Next topic, Tekken. Actually, Tekken 7 drops opening cinematic with epic Kazuya Heihachi face-off. I always get that wrong.
Try it again.
Kazuya Heihachi.
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 Is it Heihachi or is it like Heihachi?
It could be Heihachi.
Or is it? Or are we just like butchering it completely?
We're probably butchering it completely.
Good.
The thing I love about this is it was Tekken 5? Yes, Tekken 5 that had this same face-off. So to have this face-off again and knowing the story behind
stale meme.
Stale meme, but like what brought them to the point that they're facing off again?
Oh, is it not like a redo? It's like a 20 years in the future.
I'm assuming because like
They face off again.
Jin Kazuya has like
Jin Kazuya
huge
stole the
scars on his
toilet
face.
paper
Probably.
one too many times.
So like the original story was like Heihachi killed Kazuya's father and then
Okay.
tried to kill him.
So it's like Harry Potter.
Yes, it is Harry Potter.
He's
So
got the scar and everything to prove it.
I am super excited for this. It's of course rated adult level.
Peggy 16.
But like oh,
What was it, 18? I don't know.
it was Peggy 16.
Okay.
So it's not too bad. I don't know Peggy ratings.
Adult,
I know
adult-
ESRB are just as worse.
ESRB rates, I mean, some of the ratings are stupid with that. Like, you could say the F word once in a video game. Rated M for mature.
Yeah, exactly.
We don't want you... Like, GTA 5, I can understand the M rating. But some games, like the T rating, T for teen...
I'm so excited for this game now.
Looks smexy. Honestly, if you go back, the old guy,
Yep, Heihachi.
Heihachi, kind of reminds me of the Mega Man scientist.
Oh my god, you're right. He kinda does.
With his hair.
You know what he always reminds me of? An anime character from Fairy Tail. The Guildmaster.
I don't know that at all. I know Attack on Titan.
I've never watched
I'm
Attack
sorry.
on Titan.
I know of Attack on Titan. I know everything from the English.
That's probably one of the-
English dub of Shin-Chan.
That's probably the most popular anime, and I've never watched it.
It's only on season 2, which is
Attack on Titan?
surprising. Yeah,
Yeah, but there's like already 68 episodes.
I know, but still, it's only on season 2.
True.
Although
Um,
Full Metal Alchemist only made 2
2 seasons.
seasons.
It was 128 episodes.
A bajillion, jeez.
Anyways, so Twitch, I'm excited for this too. This has been on YouTube forever.
slow motion.
Yeah,
In slow motion?
they let you watch Twitch highlights in slow
Why?
motion. Think about okay, I'm thinking like
I'm thinking on like my scale where hey look, I'm getting Gil. Of like me playing a game. You want to watch it in slow motion? I stream at like 30 frames a second usually.
oh yeah,
It's gonna look like garbage.
I'm thinking on the scale of like League of Legends, esports.
League of Legends pro streamers who stream at 60 frames a second and
Yeah.
those crazy things where it's like just
But like I'm watching
destroyed a whole team.
I watch championships. So like you're watching like MSI or you're watching
yeah.
CS:GO championship.
Most of those, like, they'll do the recap, though, and they'll show it in slow motion.
Oh, yeah, but,
so
like-
you don't really have to worry about that.
there's always those parts where you're like, "Whoa, what just happened here?" and you want to see it in slow motion. You're like, wait a second.
Clip this.
They're not doing that.
Highlight.
You're like, what? So this has been on YouTube for a while now, and I think that Twitch is starting to get into a place where they want to actually compete with YouTube.
The one thing that came up that I looked at Twitch and went, you're trying to compete with the big dogs now, aren't you? Is when you could, instead of clips, which is awesome, by the way, instead of highlights, instead of streaming, you can just upload videos now.
Oh, yeah.
Which, once they came out with that, I looked at that and went, sure you can take these guys on? You sure you can take on this behemoth?
Well,
I hope so. But
I do.
The other problem is Twitch is also a behemoth.
Oh, yeah.
As far as streaming, they are the biggest streaming platform that I know of. And YouTube is the biggest video platform that I know of. So trying, like those two, YouTube started to compete with Twitch. But I can, with YouTube gaming, but it's garbage. I mean, it's okay. It's not as matured in the streaming sense as Twitch. YouTube has it's matured very well for videos, but streaming, not so much. Twitch, great for streaming. The uploading system, I don't think anybody watches any upload videos. Maybe highlights. I
watch a couple. I watch a couple because there's a couple of Twitch streamers that I watch that are partnered streamers. Mm-hmm. And they upload videos. Like the one guy I watch, he plays Mirror's Edge, and he uploads all of his tutorials for how to do the little glitches in Mirror's Edge only on Twitch.
One thing I will say, I'm only subbed to like 2 people, and they're both part of Vinesauce. Varg Skeletor, I always miss his streams because he's in Sweden. He starts streaming at like 3 a.m, and I'm like, I can't watch this. But I'm subbed on his YouTube page. So he's a partnered Twitch streamer, and he's also got a few 100,000 followers on YouTube. So he's making money on both platforms. That's why I support that. Because if you're just on Twitch, that's one platform you're making money off, one area. I'm sure at this point, all of his videos are demonetized because he's pretty vulgar. Oh, yeah. But I have YouTube Red, so I don't know if he even has ads. I just always had YouTube Red once it came out.
Yeah. So that was like one thing. Like I could see like them competing, and
Twitch
I'm
sucks,
happy.
by the way. No.
And with YouTube gaming, it seems like the people that were YouTube gamers, like uploading videos about gaming, Markiplier.
They don't even do YouTube gaming though.
No, Markiplier, Jacksepticeye, and
okay, yeah, those guys.
They're always on like YouTube gaming live. Dragast is another guy I watch on YouTube, and he always does YouTube live. I know you hate them.
No, I don't know any of them.
Oh, you don't know?
I know like Markiplier.
Jacksepticeye is like friends with him. He's
Jacksepticeye. Okay. He's Irish with green hair.
Yes. Dragast was a guy I found.
No idea who that is.
I bought the game Besiege, and all he does is early access games.
Is he the guy that I probably saw a video of his? He's the guy that has like the super early access to that one it's not a simulator, but you got these guys that attack each other.
Yes.
Whatever that game's called. I saw that. I'm like, I want to play this.
That game's out now.
Is it? Okay.
But he did it. He had it was 2 months before the game was even on Steam.
They came to him and said, "You like early access games?"
Exactly. And people have been doing that. He had what is that Oxygen game? Oxygen Not Included. He had that one before anyone could.
I've heard that
play
game.
it.
Tim plays seen it. I've seen Tim play it. Like in Steam, I see Jinfrost playing Oxygen Not Included. And I still have no idea what it is.
I think Necro has it too. Necro's been playing Minecraft, so.
We have some weird friends with some weird names.
Oh yeah. Last big topic of the day, probably the biggest. AMD Gaming RX Vega launching very soon after the Frontier Edition. So
is this a whole new line of video cards?
Yes.
The RX Vega?
The Vega is a whole new lines going off of the RX kind of chipset. And the Frontier is coming out first. Frontier is aimed at pro users. So you have your video editors, your content creators. It's aimed at those people. It's basically... Are
these gaming cards, though?
The gaming cards are coming after the Frontier.
Okay, so Frontier is replacing Fire Pro?
Yes.
Or are they still going to have those as workstations?
They might still have Fire Pro. This is just like... What AMD is doing is they have, all right, this is what we've always been doing.
So Vega is going to be the gaming.
Vega is going to be their premium tier. Kind of like GTX and GT for NVIDIA. You can still get GT cards for NVIDIA, but
GT cards are crap.
yeah, but you can also get the GTX cards.
The GTX are the gaming cards. They're Quadro cards are their workstation cards, from what I know.
So I think this is what they're doing is they're saying, all right, we have Vega, which is a higher end, and then we have like our lower end. So you have low end workstation, low end.
So you have like your low end is those little tiny cards with a heatsink and no fan on it.
Yeah.
Or like the tiniest little fan.
Yep.
Do you need graphics? There's graphics.
Exactly.
2 of them.
That's what they're making their old setup. So the RX series, the R9 series.
Oh, that's going to throw a whole lot of people off.
It is.
They're going to be like, oh, an R9 for this price, $50. All right, bring it home. I can't play Call of Duty on this. What is this?
So, like, this is, like, their premium tier. The pricing at what they're talking about is going to be on par with GTX cards.
Okay.
So, your Frontier cards...
They better compete.
I hope they do.
Because as far as, like as far as AMD with processors, they're still not competing as well as I'd hope with the Ryzen line. That they're great for content creation. They're fantastic.
Which is what I think they're aiming at.
They're competitive with that. But as far as, like, if you want to game on them, is for the same price, you get better performance out of an Intel. And then you still get that performance of, you can still do just about what the Ryzen chip can do with, like, video editing, 3D rendering, stuff like that. So as far as that, I hope they're not going for workstation. I hope they're not only solely going to, like, top performing in Vegas Pro, 3D rendering software. I don't know, other software like that. I hope they're not going to like a mid-range workstation only company.
I've actually heard a lot about the Ryzen 7 chips are like this. You're a content creator. There's not much gaming performance gained from them. Wow. The Ryzen 5, on the other hand, I've actually been hearing good things about. That it is competing on par.
I've looked into the Ryzen 3, 5, and 7, and each one, if you look at the comparable Intel, it's not really up to snuff with the Intel as far as gaming. As far as like, if you're using a streaming PC with a Ryzen chip in it, and it's doing, all of the OBS stuff, it's doing all of the encoding, all the 3D rendering, all the like stuff that is required of content creators. I don't know. I don't make.
Video editing would probably be better on it.
But that's all like encoding and rendering, stuff like that. That's all. Anything that's related to that. Oh yeah, it excels. It's far superior at a better price. But as far as gaming's concerned, for that comparable Intel chip, that Intel chip is far superior with gaming.
Okay.
So it's kind of like they're going for that content creation only standpoint. I really hope they don't. I want them to try to stick with gaming, try to get into the territory where Intel is, where they have the i5, which is good for content creation, great for gaming. It's a great all-around chip. The R5s, I think they were aiming for that, but you probably get better performance out of the R7, but you're going to be paying a premium price for it because their most expensive R7, I will say, is like $500. So, or $400.
Yeah.
So still not like the most expensive i7 or the most expensive i5 for that matter, but you're not getting the performance of the Intel counterpart most expensive processor. But you're also getting what you paid for, but a little bit less in the gaming aspect. As far as their video cards are concerned, I really hope that they don't try to take that same path where they're going solely for. You're dying over there. I can tell.
Yeah, I'm dying.
Yeah.
I don't know why. But anyways, so the AMD Vega, so they had Polaris, that is the architecture. Vega is a new architecture.
Okay, so that's just new architecture.
Yes, and so they're going to still have the Polaris architecture, and they talked about doing another architecture on top of that, and making it kind of like the Polaris, and then having a second Vega architecture. So there's 3 things that they're trying to do with this. The first one coming out is a Frontier Edition, which is the prosumer content creator,
the Titan, Titan or Titan X.
I wouldn't say Titan. I would say Quadro series. So Fire Pro replacement.
Low end Quadro.
Because we'll get to the Titan in a second. Then the second card coming out is the RX Vega Gaming, so that is the GTX series
That'll
card.
be like the 10 series.
Yep. And then there is the Pro Duo. Now, the Pro Duo is...
Dual card on a single card setup.
Well, yeah, but
assume.
What it's aimed at is, though, it's aimed at artificial intelligence, which is what the Titan cards actually are made for, is artificial intelligence learning. So that is what they're trying to do. You have prosumer, gamesumer, and artificial intelligence. Sumer.
AI Sumer.
Which they aren't releasing the FinFET on these. They're claiming that by the end of this year, they'll have a 9-nanometer FinFET process.
I remember when Intel went really thin initially with the 6000 series.
Exactly.
And they bent with the aftermarket coolers. You were bending your processor.
I mean...
So as far as that, like, if...
Technology's advancing, though, man.
They did invest in the FinFET company. I don't know.
That is true. And Intel is now partnering or licensing AMD graphics again. So
well, that's good. I mean, they're just all over the playing field now, which is, I think, better for the consumer. It'd be better. It's better for AMD now, and it's, I guess, worse for NVIDIA, but it's better for the consumer in the end, because then you have Intel, who's the main supplier of processors. As far as gamers, I looked at the Steam survey results of this past year, and majority are Intel. Yeah. It's almost like laughable if you have an AMD processor at this point on Steam. But if they are licensing to both NVIDIA and AMD as far as, like, optimization, everybody wins then, because then more people are going to be buying an AMD. AMD wins, and Intel probably loses a bit of market share. Probably not a big enough hit, because as far as Intel's concerned, they're everywhere now. If you buy a laptop, chances are you're buying an i5. You're still not buying the AMD.
Yeah, that's true.
AMD.
I mean, if there's AMD graphics in it, AMD graphics do run. I mean, for laptops, AMD graphics would probably run the same. The only problem in the past has been power consumption and heat with AMD cards, which AMD has actually remedied.
So, used to be NVIDIA was the laughing stock as far as, like, their Fermi cards, their 400, the GTX 400 series.
Fermi, that is a horrible.
My favorite thing about how overheating those graphics cards are. I don't know if you know, my sister works for DTE, and she told me there's 3 power plants there, nuclear power plants, all called the Fermi. There's one that's called, like, the Fermi plant, and I'm like, please don't let that overheat. We're all dead. But I heard that, I'm like, that's amazing.
I think I have a GTX 480 card, and it has a grill on it.
Like, you take it outside and drive it down the road, a grill like that?
No, like the cooler, the heat sink on the side is like a solid piece of metal.
You could make a steak on your...
Yeah, you could probably cook a steak on it. That's how hot that thing got.
Somebody actually took one and cooked an egg on their Fermi card.
Oh my god.
It's on YouTube somewhere.
It's possible. I don't see that as being, like, impossible. So, alright guys, that's our show for today. If you guys liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, give it a thumbs down. If you guys like having Bart as a host, give it a thumbs up.
Hi.
If you guys miss Josh, give it a thumbs down. Meet us in the comments below. Talk about anything we talked about today. All the links will be listed, as well as, time codes, so you can skip around with the favorite parts you'd want. And share with us your favorite clips from today's show. If we should use the green screen, tell us.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
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 Bye.